Going live. Going live. We're live. Hello everyone. I'm Santiago and today I'm gonna be testing Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN on the GTX 1650, 3060 and 4060. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. First of all, thanks to Bandai Namco for providing a code of the game. And well, it's been a week since I made content. I've been busy at work. I'm now becoming a developer. I'm developing VR stuff. And it's quite a challenge, actually, but I'm happy to be back here. How's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is a very out of the blue. I apologize. But how's it going? What up? So I wanted to play this because I played Elden Ring before, I played Dark Souls, I played basically everything. And this is basically a standalone adventure. And I expect it to run similar to Elden Ring, personally. So let's check the requirements super quick. The requirements are, yeah, basically the same as Elden Ring. 1063 gigs, 1078 gigs as recommended, an RX 580, DX12, 30 gigabytes of space. So considering what we see with UE5 lately, I think this is good. I mean, let's be honest, it's Elden Ring at the end of the day, but I want to see if the stuttering is still present in comparison to before. I think this would be much more interesting to see that if we can actually get non-stutter when running around. APOD, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, I think it will be interesting to see. As far as I remember, when I played the DLC, on the DLC I had more stutter, but I was able to disable a couple cores and it was fine. So yeah, I'll grab a controller and let's count the frames. Let's see what happens. We start with the 1650, obviously. And let's hope for the best. By the way, this is the first time I launched the game, so I don't know what to expect. I saw a review of it that it was more arcadey and fast-paced. So yeah, I'm happy to take a look at it. Hang on, my phone is ringing. Oh, no. Okay. From software. So considering it's Elden Ring at the end of the day, under the hood, it's probably going to be locked to 60. So yeah, you heard this game is bad. I heard the same thing, but because it was not Elden Ring 2, I guess that's the reason. We'll see. I'm sorry, but the music has to go. I apologize. Sure, matchmaking. Yeah, I accept that. And well, going back to what settings I used to use on this, basically 1080p with some stuff on medium. We'll see. Hopefully it's not bad. Hell is us, demo is live. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to play this one first, before I get disappointed with yet another UE5 game. We also have a demo for Stellar Blade, so I'm excited to check that out. I don't know why it's locked to 30 though, I think it's in the menu. Weird. Okay, by default it's on high settings. I expect this to give us 30 FPS, but we can do way better than this, I'm pretty sure. But let's start with high and do a couple adjustments later. Actually, not high, maybe medium. Makes more sense, actually. Reflection, we're fine with this. Effects, lighting. Lighting was a big one. And sometimes it requires a game restart. SSAO is okay like that. Yep, a mix of medium and high. You'll ask for a restart, but that's okay. Hey, Butter Golem, how's it going? Sorry if I'm a bit slower today. I haven't played games in a week, which feels weird. Out of all metrics as well. Yeah, something like this. At 1080p. Let me restart the game super quick. So people said this game should have just been an expansion instead of another game. Well, if it's a co-op centric game, what I found weird about this game though is that yeah, it's co-op, but it allows you to play solo or with two other players. There's no like duos. It's all about trios or solo, which is a weird thing to do in my opinion. Probably the game is not balanced around two players, but still. Yeah, and what's up with not having in-game chat? How is that a co-op game? Will you do Stellar Blade? Yeah, Stellar Blade. I'm also doing Dune Awakening, and I'm also doing Hell is Us. So there's a lot of stuff to cover. Oh, you guys now have XP on the community for some reason. Next to your names, you have crowns. That's new. Yeah, you can play solo. Yeah, but I want to. Yeah, let's try it on my own first, and then we'll see what happens. Let me go directly offline. Player name Alfred. Alfred. But I know nothing about this. You play with a lot of people who don't play as team, and urge to message them was painful. Yeah, man. I mean, a co-op game without in-game voice commands, that's weird. Okay, already in. Gotcha. Yeah, the frame times are still bad. Let me see if I have a frame rate cap. Oh, I had a frame rate cap on, obviously. There we go, way better. Alright. So there is some stuttering when moving the camera. Classic Elden Ring. So let me do one thing that I always do on Elden Ring nowadays, because somebody said it on YouTube. I tried it and it actually worked. Was to go into the game's process. This shouldn't get you in trouble. You go to details and go into affinity and CPU 0, turn it off. Oh, access is denied. Oh, that's new. They don't want you to do it. CPU 1. No, it's denied. That's new. In Elden Ring, it actually worked. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why they're not fixing those stutters, but they're annoying. So I guess I'll have to go into the BIOS to do this, because those stutters are ridiculous. I was fully expecting this to be non-stuttery, but I guess I'll have to turn off the E-cores on the i5, because that makes it unplayable for me. Doing nothing. Yeah. I find weird that they don't fix that issue. Maybe if I launch the test manager as an admin, maybe it allows me to do it. Nope, denied. Okay. What we're doing is disabling the E-cores, because I'm not going to play with stutter. It's ridiculous. But if you have an Intel CPU, disable those E-cores and you're good. 3060 Ti 5600X, when you play it on Ring in 1440p, you can remember it running bad. I mean, yeah, you don't have an Intel CPU there. I think it's just a bug on the Intel side, because I turned off CPU 0 on Elden Ring and it was completely fine. Stuttering. Stuttering. Yeah, it's just a thing that can happen. I don't even remember where it was. It's probably here. CPU settings, hyper-threading. I don't think it's... No, I don't think it's hyper-threading. Here. Number of E-cores enabled. 0. Do we have... Okay. Number of P-cores enabled. All of them. That means that we have 6 cores, 12 threads. There we go. Hopefully that fixes the problem. If it doesn't, I don't know what to do. You're downloading Elden Ring again. Now you have a 4080 Super and a 7800X 3D. Holy hell. That's awesome. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, more games releasing demos is definitely welcome, especially on PC that you have to check if your PC can run it. So yeah, let's give it another shot. But it's ridiculous that I have to do this. I wish Dark Souls games get updates that fixes all the stutter. Definitely. Yeah, we need that. It's a necessity at this point. Although, if it's only an Intel issue, I can kind of understand, especially when on Steam Deck Valve with a Proton change, they fixed that in Elden Ring quite a bit. Not 100%, but it was a lot better. How is it on console? I'm guessing it's 60 frames, considering it's a co-op game. Anyway, let's try that again. Okay. No, I'm guessing if you go above 60, there's probably going to be issues with physics and weapon durability. Let's see, are we better now? Definitely. See, that fixes the problem right away. But it shouldn't be happening in the first place. But hey, it looks like Elden Ring. There's a patch that unlocks FPS, but you have to play in offline mode. Yeah, I see that pretty commonly in Sekiro and Elden Ring. But since this is a co-op focused game, I wouldn't really mod it due to that reason alone. I'll be playing alone and with other people, yeah, but honestly, I think this game is more geared towards playing co-op, for what I've seen on the internet. I especially notice that I move way faster than I'm used to. Also, that the game tells you how to guard and dodge without touching a soapstone feels weird as well. What is the recommended requirements? A 1070. So it's basically the recommended requirements for this game are the minimum requirements of newer games. Okay, wall jump. Okay, gotcha. Sekiro called. They want their mechanic back. Yeah, it's, I mean, for what I heard... Ooh, this... Oh, I thought there was... Okay. I thought it was going to be a fake chest. Okay. Also being able to run like this. But as I was saying, I digress. The playing solo, from the reviews that I've seen, very little reviews. People said, okay, it's not great on your own. It's basically meant to be played with other players. But I'm sure they allow you to play solo, because most people that play these games don't usually bring other people to them outside of the story. Just being completely geared towards co-op makes it different already. Didn't they release an update today, make it more balanced for solo players? I don't know. This is the first time I launched the game. So we'll see. I want to play with other people though, because it's usually more demanding than just... Okay, character skills. Okay. Oh, okay, I got you. I think. The grapple has me confused. Y and then left trigger. There we go. Okay, it's weird to aim like this, but sure. Probably charge you for it. Oops. So does that mean Switch 2 is powerful enough to run it? Yeah, definitely. I mean, if the Switch can run Cyberpunk, the Switch 2, it can probably run this. The thing is, if From Software can make it run properly. Oops. I I wasn't counting on that door. Game audio is effed up. Oh, sorry. Give me a sec. Let me restart the capture card. Sorry about that, guys. This is like Skyrim. Everything is like Skyrim at this point, right? Yeah, there's a little stuttering in the audio of the game. That's weird. Okay, and leveling up is not manual on each of the stats. Oof, it drops hard here. But it's a 1650 at the end of the day, and I'm playing at 1080p without upscaling because there's no such thing in Elden Ring. Okay, this with the effects on screen. Attack an ally to rescue it. That's cool. You're welcome. Yeah, the thing is sometimes my capture card doesn't take the audio correctly. And I just reboot it and we're good. So if it happens again, let me know. Hey Hiro, ¿qué tal? Fell Omen. Oh, I remember this guy. It took me a while to beat him.
All who dare approach.
Oh yeah, I have the grappling hook. I dropped into the 40s like all the way. Am I supposed to die here? Game and Stellar Blade make you hopeful for the future of the optimization, while Stellar Blade, if you think about it, is an Unreal Engine 4 game, so it's no surprise. Ooh, I can bolt towards it very easily. Of course he got me. That's okay. But with the effects on screen, I can see it drops harder than Elden Ring, which is a good test. You can win? Okay, gotcha. Then I'll pay more attention. But as I was saying, yeah, I mean, Stellar Blade, UE4. This is, at the end of the day, is Elden Ring. So, I mean, it's not like we're getting a UE5 game that runs well. Oh, and he keeps the lower health. Maybe it's because it's a tutorial. But I haven't played this in a while. I can barely attack him. Ultimate Arts. Okay. Okay, that works. UE4 doesn't mean much, yeah, nowadays. I mean, nowadays, if it's not UE5, you should be good. Yeah, Elden Ring on steroids, but when it comes to movement. Why, if I'm not fighting with someone, I just die right away? That feels like an odd omission. I mean, but as I was saying, Elden Ring already ran pretty well. By its own, it's an older game, so it makes complete sense. I think it's on PS4 as well, right? Oh, okay. I could die twice. Okay, very forgiving, but that's okay. I go to the round table by just dying a couple times. They don't have patience. This looks cool though. Expedition. Okay, there's passwords. Expedition. But again, I want to see other players with me, just because, I mean, just being one person against one boss, and a few effects on screen dropped it into the 40s, so... Yeah, probably 900p makes more sense. Yeah, UE4 has bad optimization, it's UE4, but I think it's a different... It's a different thing, in a way that... Usually Final Fantasy does its own tech, And probably they did their own tech on UE4 and it failed spectacularly. Okay, let's see. Here's the real deal. You need to prepare multiple tries to defeat one boss, and now they expect me to fight multiple bosses in a row. Yay! Okay, this is what I saw in the trailer. Here is as bad as it gets, I think, visually speaking, when it comes to performance. So you can do 1080p on this one, on the 1650, but I'll do 900p just to have that extra performance improvement. But just like that, I can... Okay. Oof. Okay, I can feel the lag when attacking an enemy. It doesn't register right away. Oh, and I can sprint. Okay. That's weird. Fall damage? Okay, no fall damage. Okay, definitely more arcadey. Audio delayed again? Jesus Christ. You're talking about the game or the... or the microphone? Cool. Yeah, no, not today. Also, sprinting doesn't use stamina, like at all. Tech delay is the host. That doesn't sound like a good idea to me. Yeah, so I'd say probably a good idea is to just play on 900p on this one. At least on this card, just to not drop below medium. Below medium feels like a waste when it comes to texture resolution and all that. But this feels way more arcadey than I was expecting. The game? Okay, gotcha. Let's try that again then. Turn off capture card. Oh, maybe it's the G-Sync issue on the NVIDIA driver. Yeah, just no fall damage and endless sprinting is weird. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not what I was expecting so far. Now it's synced? Awesome. So yeah, it's definitely a capture card thing. That sucks. Yeah, no, if you like playing solo, this is probably not for you. I mean, if you have friends that are fans of Souls-likes, you're probably going to like this. Because it's clearly geared towards having other players with you, especially with the revivals and all that. They put a lot of emphasis at the beginning of the game. Okay, which way? Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a single player guy as well, so this just feels odd. We'll see. It works well. Let me drop to 900p super quick. Hopefully I don't die while waiting for that. But I think 900p makes more sense for the 1650, so it's basically a mix of medium and high. Something like this. You can go lower if you want to, but I think this is as low as you should go. $900p. You can play solo, but it's not meant, the vibe is different. Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, just by fighting the first boss and being bad at it, I imagine there's bosses that are way more taxing when it comes to having only one player. And they can put tougher bosses just due to the fact that you can revive other people, so it's not like you die and it's over. But it's weird that they... What I really cannot put my mind around is that it's either 3 players or solo. It's not like you can do duos. 3 is an odd number. literally. No, this doesn't break. Wukong is coming for me. Okay, 2 for 1. Internet Explorer. What? Yeah, I think maybe this came a little bit too late. Yeah, yeah, the Battle Royale thing that you're saying makes a lot of sense actually. Because you get dropped in this area with some gear and the map starts closing, right? Yeah, there is a circle. Yeah, they are a little bit late to this. But the thing is, 3-player, I mean, I understand letting people play solo, but duos feels like a perfect match for something like this. PvP, well, PvP as an option would be nice. Although it would be like having a, yeah, like a multiplayer thing. You mean like 3v3? Maybe with a boss in the middle, but I don't know how they would make that work and be entertaining. Too bad it doesn't have a PvP. Oh, yeah. I'm reading everything twice for some reason today. Dragon? But so far nothing is happening yet. Yeah, Helios is going to melt every GPU out there. Just the fact that they use upscaling in the system requirements tells me everything that I need to know about the performance. Cellblade PC port, hell yeah. I played it the other day on the ROG Ally X using SteamOS. It's a lot of fun. I personally played it on PS5, the demo, but I wanted to wait for the PC port to actually play the game because I wanted to play it on Steam Deck. So I'm going to make a video on that soon. Today was going to be, I mean, this week and the next one, I'm going to be doing, well, this game that I'm doing right now, Stellar Blade, the new Dune game, Dune Awakening, and Hell Is Us, the demo. But the lag with doing damage to the enemies is hilarious. Probably in my region nobody's playing this, so. But I mean, if just hitting an enemy has a delay here, and I'm playing co-op, imagine with PvP at the same time. That would be weird. I mean, weird. It would be not super responsive. No, no creo, Toms. Porque en Indiana Jones tampoco sucedió. But yeah, it's basically Elden Ring at the end of the day, but with co-op in mind. I'm more of a... And it's weird to see this ring closing. See, a ring. Haha, Elden Ring. Reminds me of Battle Royales, that you just jump with something that flies into the ground. But they say it's kind of roguelite, so if there's enough variation, it's probably going to be interesting. But my main question when they offered me the game was if I could play solo, and they said, yeah, sure. So I was like, okay, I can benchmark with them. But I'm happy that at least it runs like Elden Ring. That's it. What's with the voice desync? My voice or the game? Because I have noise cancelling going on with my mic. Yeah, well, Helldivers 2 actually is very difficult to test. Just due to the fact that it can be so variable. That's something that I find super difficult with those games. Testing something consistently like that, I'd say it's impossible. Oh, the game again. Okay, good. Then I'm probably going to disable G-Sync. Because this game, anyway, has V-Sync at all times. So. But I can fix it very quickly by restarting my capture card again. Sorry about that, guys. NVIDIA drivers, you know how it goes. Can I have a good experience playing Lite Sim 2020 on a 1650? I mean, you can if you lower the resolution low enough. I have videos on that actually. It runs better than I expected. Then the 2024 version, that one's pretty hard to run. Oh, they're just fighting a boss and I'm here doing nothing. GG. I'm so good at this game, guys. Holy hell. Great enemy. Failed. What I dislike about testing co-op games is that I usually swap GPUs pretty often, so I have to abandon them. If I abandon the game, do they get another person to jump in, or they're on their own? I don't like abandoning other players. No? They do not get another person. Ah! Oh well. Well, I'll have to be an asshat on this one. I'm sorry, guys. So for the 1650, do this. 900p with these settings. If you don't like motion blur, you're going to be blessed. Alt F4. Sorry, I had to do it. Gives you a penalty if you leave, that's okay. What kind of penalty are we talking about? I mean, you guys saw it, the game crashed on me, huh? Here we go. Okay, the game will try and make me rejoin. That's perfect. That's perfect. If I can rejoin them, 3 leaves in an hour or 2 will time you out. Okay, gotcha. That's good. That means I can actually do something demanding for once. Okay, welcome back. We now have a 3060, the magical 12GB GPU from a few years ago. Remember, guys, VRAM is expensive. That's why we put it on a 3060. On a 3060, I think I can just do ultra, right? I mean, high versus ultra, not a lot of performance difference. Yeah, I mean, hell is us, you could install it on a graphics card. It's only 10 gigs. Deadly Premonition is very cheap right now. Hang on. It's like $1 for me. Less than $1. Yep. That's going right into my card. Hold up. I cannot pass this up. I'm sorry. I have a job to do. Deadly Premonition. That's a game I haven't heard of in a long time. It runs like absolute garbage on the Nintendo Switch. There we go. I got him. Another one for my collection. Deadly Premonition 2 is super cheap on Steam right now. You remember that game wasn't on PS2 or 3? It was actually on PS3, but there was a PC port of the first one, and it was dreadful. It was horrible. So yeah, 10 FPS on Switch in outdoor sections, unironically, yeah. That's why I wanted it to be on PC, because no matter the hardware you have, it runs horrible. So now I have it in my library, because I wanted to actually test both of those on Steam Deck, so it's a good time to buy them, I guess. Yeah, you move the camera, oof, it dies. Yeah, I mean, it's just incompetence. But it's part of the charm, I guess, at this point. Can't wait for the GTA 6 benchmark on a 1650. That's coming probably in a couple of years, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 3 years. But I'll be here when it releases. I'll play it on Xbox or PS5. So at least I can play GTA 6 on stream, because it's so far away. Okay, current session found, press OK to restore. Hell yeah. But now I'm going to push it to high settings. So it allows me to rejoin. That's awesome. GG. They're now like killing a huge boss. Yep. I'll get him. Oof. I'm at 900p now. Hopefully I can get away from them at the same time as I'm swapping my settings. These people are probably hating on me right now. Hang on, I'm swapping settings, guys. Let's play on the highest. Or high. Okay, some settings apply once I restart the game. Gotcha. Let's try. One hit. That's all I'm asking for. I did it! Guys, I did it! Yeah, it's capped to 60. That's Elden Ring for you. Dragon Wound upon Dragon Commission. Improved thrusting counter attack. Improved dodging. Hell yeah. A good thing that you can jump back, actually, because that's something that I was worried about. I played a lot of co-op in the past, like Payday 2, and when I crashed, getting back into the game, into the same place, impossible. It was a pain in the ass. But hey, looking good. You can use Mindsight to imagine extra frames. Mindsight? Isn't that the new GTA-ish game that looks like a game from 2010 mechanically? Which, by the way, I might get a code for. More than 70% GPU usage at 1080p. Yeah, that's good enough. I mean, it's similar to what Elden Ring was doing. Unless we have... Does this have ray tracing like Elden Ring? Which again, I wouldn't use because it's just for shadows. It's not super obvious. Saint's Eye. No? Okay, good. Imagine this with ray tracing. I never understood why they decided to put ray tracing. Oh, I came here before and I killed everyone. Yeah, I could rejoin the game. I Alt F4 out of the game and the game put me back in, saying, hey, you missed the match. Do you want to rejoin? They're still alive. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm actually back with the same people. Which is funny because I swapped an entire part of my PC a moment ago and I came back to the same game. The Switch game is going to be absolutely dreadful. What do you mean? Oh. Yeah, FromSoft making 2 multiplayer games. I mean, but From Software does good stuff. This is an exception, I would say. But it feels more like an experiment, more than anything. So I'm happy that they're doing something different. I do agree that this should have been DLC. But I guess it's more marketable if you say it's a new game, from a standalone game instead. Makes sense. 30 FPS PvP Souls game. I mean, if you have a Nintendo Switch and your only upgrade is a Switch 2, you're going to be completely happy with 30 FPS. I mean, especially being a portable device. You need to make sacrifices for portable stuff to work. Arc Raiders is UE5 and ran pretty well. I wanted to play that one. I never knew what it was. I remember it was delayed like a bazillion years ago. And then I never heard about it again. Oh, hello there. Oh, there's the stairs. Oops, wrong button. Oof. I did it on my own. Nobody helped me. Okay. Oh, nice shield. Easier to sell as standalone, also a lot of reuse stuff. Yeah, definitely. If you can reuse in game development especially, you gotta. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But this just feels, I mean, it's basically an Elden Ring with a close-in ring and multi-bosses. What I hope I could see was like, maybe, I don't know, some Dark Souls bosses. They were teasing a couple of them. That would have been super interesting. Comes out on the 10th though. Cool. Yeah, I want to check it out. Oops. Reduce 2 atoms. Well, good time to change resolution. Oh, now it doesn't allow me? Really? Oops. I died it. Yeah, I mean, if this was single player... Oh, I didn't die? Okay, you respawn. I wasn't expecting that. 1440p. Here we go. And for 1440p, I'm also doing high. So this is 1440. It's funny, in one game, in one match, I did 2 graphics cards. I don't imagine playing this solo. Maybe there's less enemies and whatever, but still. Oh, I'm so good. Let's get back to him. Okay, in here 1440p suffers more. Yeah, makes sense. Probably the volumetrics. No surprises there. Here I'll probably use a mix of medium and high, like I did on the 1650, but for 1440p. But I'm always annoyed that these games from software enforce VSync at all times. With this game, you think they saw a lot of people speedrunning their games and figured out that's what people wanted. I mean, that's been happening for a while, though. This feels more like an attempt of battle royale style-ish stuff, but without PvP. I mean, just a circle closing around you already makes me think about battle royale stuff. Maybe they've been playing PUBG or Fortnite in the From Software offices. They decrease enemy health, and that's pretty much all they did for solo players. That's lame. Now I'm getting some flickering. When they do balancing like that, which, let's be honest, that's not balancing, just decreasing the health a little. It's like when you play on the hardest difficulty in a game, and the difference is that you get half the damage on your character, and the enemy, and you do less damage. So you get half health, half damage. There we go. I'm the one that killed them. Give me all the experience. Yeah, I'd rather have this. Yeah, I'm getting some flickering, maybe because I changed the resolution. Oops. Oh, hi there. Ooh. Oh. Out of nowhere. Well, while we're standing here doing nothing, I'll do a small change. Like before, we lowered the shadows a little, the lighting, the effects. Some stuff requires a restart though, so apologies on that. Especially the lighting stuff. Yeah. But a mix of medium and high like I did on the 1650, but at 1440p on the 3060, that's more than enough. can create a build in this game, and that's a huge no for you. Oh yeah, well, good point. Because it's all random, right? Ooh. I mean, I think that's the point. The thing is, how random can it get? That's what I'm worried about. I mean, does it get repetitive at some point? Because otherwise it'll just feel too repetitive. Hey, Cytex33, it's been a while. How's it going? I'm here playing something. When you fully die, your soul marker gives you back the cost of the full level. Oh, so you're actually progressing. Okay. But you're not... Yeah, I mean... We're still not doing a build like in the other games. And this tree is destroying my GPU for some reason. But remember, if you change the stuff that I changed here, remember that you have to restart the game. Because on Elden Ring, I remember it was solid 60s with these settings at 1440. You resisted the FOMO for this one, but you'll probably pick it up in weeks after, because it will be on sale. Yeah, I mean, that applies to every game. The thing is, if this will stay alive. That's what worries me. Because yeah, you can play alone, but just by what I'm getting by playing with other people, I don't imagine playing this on my own. Doesn't make sense. Okay, I can cheese them from a tree. Cool, he's dead. There, stab him in the ass. That's the trick. Is it a little better, run better than on PS5? I mean, that's not super difficult with this card. Depends on the game, of course, but older games like this tend to be pretty close. Oh, you again. Oh man. Kill the boss, collect the vessel, and then go to the next one. I mean, as long as the bosses are not all the time the same. Maybe, well, the environments seems to be the same all the time. I only played, this is my first match, still. But this is not from Elden Ring with some changes, as far as I can see. But this looks pretty damn cool.
There is no escape.
Ooh, one hit. Oh, PS5 is 1080p. That's weird. Here, I'm playing as Indiana Jones now. Give me the whip. Oops. Sí, tal cual, Nahuel. Es perfecto para el Steam Deck, el Elden Ring. Okay. The tree trick actually works. Yep. You can cheese them with trees. No wonder they're destructible. Tie-dye mobility does massive damage if someone is down, it revives them. I forgot the button combination, that's the problem. Oops. Hey, Litian Lim, how's it going, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. PS5 is animated 4K. Gotcha. You got it 4 days ago, Steam Deck LCD 256, $270 used, but not even a scratch, 100% battery health. You got lucky. That's a great price. Enjoy, man. What an awesome console, man. I love this Steam Deck. I was going to do a video of the Steam Deck on this game, but time wasn't on my side. So I decided to just stream it and show it to you guys live. But this is going to be fine at 30 on Steam Deck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's weird that we don't have in-game voice chat. That's definitely weird. Yeah, Hell is Us and Stellar Blade. Those are coming as well. Y button, then RT. Okay. A triangle, then RT. Ooh. Okay. That's badass. Thank you for that. Oh well. It was going to happen. Just kill him. Don't need to save me. It's funny though that by attacking me, they are actually healing me. That's a neat mechanic. There we go. Thank you, sir. There we go. Reduce 2 atoms. Okay, and very quickly I'm doing 4K just to show you guys, as usual. These two people are, yeah, doing the heavy lifting, definitely. Yeah. Zero doubt in my mind. And as usual, 4K is not meant for cards like this, but we'll do it anyway. 5070 Ti for 4K gaming, or 1440p high FPS. 1440p I think makes more sense with that card. But the thing is the price. That's the big thing. I mean, when it comes to performance, should be okay. Boiled prawn. I don't know what that's for. Yeah, but 4K, it's going to drop below 30. in those demanding parts. But it looks pretty damn good. But again, it's hard. Could we join you on the next game? Yeah, sure. Although I cannot promise I'm going to stay for long. It's 40:60 and we go to bed because I have to work tomorrow. I worked today. I worked my ass off today. We had a delivery today. And well, I'm a noob still when it comes to development on Unity. So I'm here just to blow off some steam, actually. Yeah, it's weird that it doesn't have DLSS. I think this will be... I think it would increase image quality in this game. The From Software TAA, I think it's I think it's FXAA. The anti-aliasing, especially in Dark Souls 3, is dreadful. And well, in Bloodborne is basically the worst FXAA you can find. So in a game like this, I think DLSS would be a benefit. Okay, here I'm running at 60 because there's no trees. Okay. By seeing this monster, 3 heads, I get it. 3 people, it's all because of this monster, right? Bloodborne didn't even look like it used any anti-aliasing. I think it's FXAA. I think. But if it doesn't have any anti-aliasing, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's the reason why I never finished Bloodborne. Also, the frame times are horrible. And I noticed that, obviously on PS4. But it was just, it looked bad even on a 1080p TV. And I played at 720p back then. So just if you add, apart from the stuttering, the image quality on Bloodborne, I'm still waiting for the PC ports. I'll be here forever. But that's okay, I have a backlog full of games. SMAA, yeah, I mean, it could help, but it'll still look pretty alien. The funny thing is, they even put the chromatic aberration on top of that pixelation, so it makes it even worse. Oh man. I just hope that in the future they don't swap to UE5 or something. Just imagine the performance of that. I think that did nothing. But hey, I'm playing at 4K. Yeah, definitely. That's why it's divided into 3 people. Imagine playing against this boss on your own. They let them stay with this engine? Good. Good. I hope they add some better image quality in the future. I'm just happy that they're able to do proper art. Oops. Yeah, the solo patch, I heard about it. I'm going to try it on the 4060 very quickly. So sure. Okay. Next. This is my first match. It only took an hour. What I also find weird, this is a small detail, but something that I noticed. We're not actually in this lobby with the other players. You're on your own. Small thing, but I think it's important. Okay. We're now swapping to the 4060 because I already did 3 resolutions. GG. Okay, let's turn off the PC. I'm trying something new actually. I have a Wi-Fi plug, so I should be able to just force turn off my PC by hitting this button. Let's see. Yeah, it works. I killed the power. Of course, no power. Duh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I rather just play with randoms now because this is my last part. I'm probably going to be here for another half hour, so not a lot of time. Sorry guys. Maybe next time. Maybe when I do the Steam Deck video, that would be cool. You already know The Witcher 4 is going to be a complete technical disaster, knowing CDPR's competence when it comes to releasing an optimized finished game. Well, yeah, that plus UE5, but at least on Cyberpunk, it was their own technology. So that makes it easier to have problems when you're doing stuff on your own. So when it comes to Cyberpunk, it makes more sense. Because again, everything is theirs from the ground up. Just look at the video of the glitches in The Witcher 3 when they were making the game. It's hilarious. I love when developers show those bugs. And many things are engine related. That maybe in UE5 they're already figured out. So who knows? Maybe they thrive with UE5. The thing is the stutter and the image quality. I already saw the TSR upscaling issues in the Witcher 4's trailer, so I'm not super hopeful. Yeah, I mean, upscaling is not a solution when it comes to bad performance, in my opinion. It's a workaround. The thing is they're using it because it gives you a huge advantage when it comes to performance. Just lowering the resolution, the most basic thing that you can do to get more performance. But that doesn't mean optimize a solution. It's not a solution. It should be the last resort. Which is a shame, really. 4090 for 1440p 60 medium settings on Witcher 4. I mean, it has to come out on PS5 and Series X. So I'm not entirely sure on that one. Okay, highest settings. And we continue. Traversal stutter existed in UE3 quite plenty. I remember, yeah, in Batman Arkham Asylum, actually. That's when I started noticing, and Arkham City. But it wasn't necessarily traversal stutter. But I remember stutters here and there, especially when DX11 came around. But DX11 was more of a CPU limitation. Expedition. Commence expedition. Yeah, I mean, it takes less work to make things work, quote unquote. I mean, you can open UE5 and make a game right now. And there's a lot of things already pre-made that you don't have to think about. It's not coming until 2027 at the earliest, and the next console might be out by then. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know how Sony and Microsoft are going to sell consoles at that time. There's barely... The potential of the current gen tech, I think, has been very disappointing. They're not taking advantage of the hardware. When it comes to, well, I think GTA 6 is a real start of the PS5 and Series X generation. And maybe Indiana Jones and all that. But GTA 5, GTA 6, Jesus Christ. I still call it GTA 5. Pick the one who can become a wolf, too late. Oops. Bueno. Bueno, Sharso, la otra opción, además de devolverlo, no sé si es una opción, es instalarle SteamOS. Pero sí, obvio, no se va a sentir como una consola porque tiene Windows. Capaz en el futuro. Yeah. Microsoft apparently is going to release the next Xbox in 2026, so we're cooked. Yeah. I mean, more hardware just to brute force through developers not thinking about how to make the games work correctly. Just brute force. Reminds me of GTA 4 on PC, that you had to brute force your way to get the game running well. But we're talking about, well, that game, if I put it today on my PC, it wouldn't be 100% perfect still. 3 AM, that should beat you. Well, you're pretty far away from here. It's 9 PM. How's it going, man? Gotta wake up for work tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. The thing is, I finished work a couple hours ago, and I was like, man, I had to burn up some steam. So I was like, okay, let's stream. I haven't made videos in a week. It feels like forever. And tomorrow I gotta work, but the delivery was today. So the time-consuming brain being cooked part was taken care of today. Tomorrow I'll be more chill, refactoring stuff, so we'll be fine. I can stay awake a bit longer. But that's okay, you can watch it later, or I'll do streams earlier next time. I have a lot of games to cover. How's the game so far? Any issues with lowering cards? So far, runs just like Elden Ring. What bothers me is that the host is the one that has the earliest hits on the enemies. So when I hit an enemy, sometimes I feel that latency from my hits. But that's to be expected on a co-op game. Other than that, runs just like Elden Ring. Maybe sometimes it runs worse because more effects on the screen, but that's about it. Ooh. Okay, 2 bosses. Okay, that one disappeared. What the hell? Okay. Had a lot of things last month. You got a job at IKEA. What do you do there? That's interesting. I wish we had IKEA in my country. I would be able to put furniture in my house, even if it's cardboard. 2:14 at night there. Well, at least I caught you guys on bed or something. At least you're comfortable. Oh, I've been sitting here all day, actually. I was going to go to Kung Fu and the gym, as usual, on Mondays. But today it was impossible. It was like, work was too hard. But that's okay, I can go tomorrow. But I missed my Kung Fu class. That's not a good look. 1080p is fine. Let's do 1440p now. 1440. Okay, 1440p, and instead of the highest, we're going for high. That's usually the best bet. Some stuff is not going to apply until I restart, but I don't want to keep those people waiting. So high settings, 1440p. Didn't expect this. Me neither. I mean, it was Bandai Namco offered me a code, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? The thing is, I had to wait for a week to be available. but that's okay. I want to do a video on this on Steam Deck as well, but I want to get more familiar with how the stages change and all that. So far, it feels very samey to me. But we're good. $59 FPS unplayable. Ooh. Big hit. But don't worry, I'll be doing Stellar Blade, Dune Awakening, and Hell is Us. Ooh, nice hit. To you, above 25 is playable. I mean, yeah, it used to be like that as well. Look at me now. Nah, I'm kidding. I can still play at 25 FPS if necessary. I saw worse. You're just helping people with questions in your areas. You work at office furniture, sofas, and like libraries, which was like bookshelves and that stuff. Interesting. So a sales rep, something like that. You get commissions from helping people. Yeah, I've been here twice already in an hour. There we go, with these two atoms. A really good job for a college student? Yeah, of course. You have a couple friends who work with. In general, the whole place has really nice people. That's the most important part. I know it sounds cliche, but it's real. Otherwise, it's a freaking nightmare. I mean, at your age, I couldn't get a job with good people in it. Sales rep, there we go. Yeah, that's good. Learning to deal with people is the best part of that job. So GG, that's a good experience to have. Halberd to the face. At 1440p seems to be completely fine. It says 59 FPS because my monitor supports either 100 instead of 120 is 119 point something hertz. Well, my capture card, not my monitor. So yeah, the VSync being VSync, it detects 59.94 FPS and that's what it does. Down there. But so far it runs fine. It's basically runs like Elden Ring, but when there's a lot of effects, it drops a bit lower than actual Elden Ring, but it makes sense. There's more characters. I mean, if the three people there use one of these special attacks at the same time, good luck. Yeah, but I wish we had like Dark Souls, previous Dark Souls bosses just randomly jumping in. One thing I would like to see in a game like this is like some of the Dark Souls 2 bosses. I'm not sure if you guys remember the Pursuer, the guy with the giant sword and shield that came out of nowhere in Dark Souls 2. then you could find the patterns, but still. Imagine if the pursuer just drops the sword in the middle of the game, out of nowhere. That would be super cool. Are you getting a Switch too? No, not really. Not a fan. Especially for the price. The price of the games, I mean. I actually got a PS5 and I'm buying physical games that I like. Which sounds weird, but it brings me a lot of nostalgia. Because I bought basically PS4 games that I like. And I've also been buying some Xbox 360 games. The original Forza Horizon. I bought also Ninja Gaiden 2, the original. And they've been pretty damn cheap. In my country nobody values those games, so I could find it very, very cheap. I think like $20 each. Would like to see that one? You would buy the game? Which one? You have PS5 too, but you're not interested in games recently, waiting for Ghost 2 and GTA 6. I mean, yeah, this generation that came out in 2020, so 5 years ago, feeling old yet, it's been, as we were saying, very disappointing. Because you can still play great games on the last gen consoles. It feels kind of a waste of hardware. Real expensive to buy PS5 games on Uruguay? Yeah, but you can buy them digitally and you're fine. I didn't buy them, the PS5 games, physical. I bought PS4 games physical that give you PS5, the PS5 edition for free. Well, Cyberpunk is one of them, because you can transfer your PC saves to the PS5. It blew my mind. And I put my PS4 disc on the PS5 and it was like, hey, this is a PS5 and you put a PS4 Cyberpunk. Do you want to upgrade to the PS5 version? And I was like, yeah, sure. And there you go. I got Cyberpunk on PS5. But in Uruguay, physical games are double the price as digital. Unless you buy used and a few years later. Okay, so 1440p is fine. I think it's time to wreck my eyeballs with 4K. So that means 30 FPS. So here we go. Does it stutter like Elden Ring? Yes, but you can... A workaround for that, since I couldn't turn off my CPU 0, one of the threads, is to actually go to your BIOS and disable the E-cores if you have an Intel CPU. If you don't have an Intel CPU, it shouldn't be a problem. But again, small text, it shouldn't. But that's what fixed my problem. But the stutter, yeah, it still exists. If you had stutter in Elden Ring, you're probably going to have it here as well. But again, the Intel way of fixing it, disable the E-cores and you're good to go. For us, we have stores that sell physical games for like 10-20 bucks cheaper at launch. It's cool. Envy. I envy you. In a good way, I guess. Well, that's cool. I mean, when I went on vacation to the US, I was blown away with the amount of physical games that I saw at a cheap price. And cheap means below 60, because in Uruguay, any physical game from the current gen consoles is that expensive. Okay. We're totally going to win this. Yeah, I totally meant to do that. Whoa, what the hell? Jesus. Yeah, here's when it drops below what Elden Ring usually does, with this fire around you plus the boss fights. And if your teammates use a lot of effects, sorry, spells, better said. Otherwise, it's basically Elden Ring, which is not a bad thing. It just already feels repetitive. I was expecting a bit more variation. GG. Oh, not dead yet. Digital games are freaking expensive for no reason. Well, Call of Duty is expensive everywhere. Which, by the way, I think those are discounted right now on Steam. Guard counters activate summon attack, critical hit, restoration 10%, sudden enemy death upon attacks. Sure. When you try Heli Sus, play on high settings instead of ultra, it made like 20 FPS difference. Classic UE5. Less samples for women. Thanks for the heads up. What CPU are you using right now? I'm using an i5 13500, but I disabled the E-cores in the BIOS because otherwise this game was a stuttery mess. And this happened to me also on Elden Ring, so not surprised. It's a shame. They should have learned that by now. But what can you do? The broadsword. I missed it. RTX 5060 when? I've been thinking about it, guys. I've been thinking maybe I could add a 5060 to the channel because the 1650 is like in newer games that are not this one. It's like, okay, your GPU is not supported and I swapped to the 3060. So I'm thinking maybe in the future getting a 5060, which I hate doing because I wouldn't buy it in real life. But it's probably going to be one of the most popular GPUs anyway. So I'm torn on that subject. Yeah, they haven't fixed the E-cores thing. Yeah, they haven't. You shouldn't be surprised at this point. It took like a decade to fix the Dark Souls 2 double weapon durability at 6 FPS. Half weapon durability. You shouldn't be surprised at this point. Xbox Series S Brazil. The Series S is the best value right now. Although they increased the pricing on everywhere. In my country we still didn't get that price increase, but it's the cheapest way to play games in Europe. People here don't buy physical games since, yeah, very long time ago. But for Game Pass, people love Game Pass because they don't have to buy games. So in Uruguay, you're mostly going to find Game Pass. I'm buying the last physical games in Uruguay. 5060 doesn't make sense. Yeah, I agree. But hey, you gotta survive somehow. buy the 16 GB version. The thing about the 16 GB, I think it's only the 5060 Ti. I think it is the 16 GB one. Is usually super expensive, just for having double the memory. And it's really a shame, because I saw the performance improvement over the 4060 and it's pretty decent performance uplift. The thing is, the 8 GB of VRAM it's a deal breaker. And Nvidia knows this. They've been doing this. I was talking about this 8 years ago. I was showing people why they shouldn't buy a 1060 3 GB. And most people were like, no, it's fine, you don't need more than 3 GB. And as an example, I was showing Forza Horizon 3 that used a lot of VRAM, even at lower settings. And I remember the comments being like, but lower the texture quality and you'll be fine. And I was like, at some point the texture quality won't be low enough for your VRAM. So your card dies with you there. Your VRAM kills your card. And it's happening, but it took longer than I expected. So yeah. So I'm the first person that wouldn't buy a 5060. I've been having issues with VRAM since the 1060 days, when they released a 3 GB version. But I digress, like some people would say. At the time you owned an old G-Sync monitor with one of the modules. Okay. So no AMD cards if you want a VRR. Yeah, I remember those times. I was so stoked when Nvidia released a driver that allows you to use G-Sync on FreeSync monitors. That was awesome. You got a 4080 Super, otherwise you would have gone with a 7900 XT or XTX. Yeah, to me the main advantage of Nvidia is DLSS. And I'm not talking about the frame generation, I'm talking about the upscaler. It's so freaking good. The thing is, now upscaling, whether we like it or not, we have to use it to get decent performance. Completely sucks that I have to say that, but yeah. It should have been 5060 Ti 12 gigs and 5070 16, but Nvidia? No, Nvidia does whatever they want. They don't care. We need AMD to step up and do cheaper stuff. Maybe next generation. That's what I've been saying for a few generations already. Ooh. Ooh. You now have an OLED with FreeSync and G-Sync compatible, so maybe in 3 years or so you get an AMD card if Nvidia gives out like this. Yeah, that's smart. I recently bought an OLED TV for my room, and well, it's I don't remember the model, it's an LG 47-inch TV, and I play PS5 and stuff like that there, nothing super crazy. You can notice the VRR, it's a huge difference. And I don't die by this, right? Yeah. No fall damage. The thing is, how the hell do I get up there? Oh, never mind. There you go. So yeah, 3 years, 4080 Super, more than enough. We need an RTX 6969. I mean, the 6090 will be like a 69 card. 69T. Oh, Nvidia just wants you to buy the more expensive ones. That's why they put 8 GB on lower ones. I mean, yeah, but still. It's scummy move. Anti-consumer, like you would say. Like Apple selling the $900 regular iPhone with 60 Hz display. Yeah, although here iPhones are more like a status thing, a trendy thing to have. Yeah, a trendy thing and expensive. But the 60 hertz on normal iPhones, man. When I grab somebody else's phone, it's like having sandpaper in my eyes. It's horrible. You had a 1080 Ti for 6 years. You tend to buy more powerful ones and stick around with them. I do the same thing. I try to. That's why I bought a 4090 before the prices skyrocketed. And I'll keep it for a while. I have a lot of VRAM there. And I use it mostly to create content and, well, do some game development. It's been pretty helpful. But yeah, keeping it for a long time, I think that's more interesting. Makes more sense. I mean, in the long run, yeah, you spend less right now, but in the long run, it sticks around for much longer. It's fine to have 60 hertz on a cheap phone, but the phone is $900. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes no sense. I wonder how much money they save by putting 60 hertz. That's so cool. Ooh, am I crashing? No. Oh, that's outside of the zone. Oops. Samsung out there selling $400 phones with 120 Hz displays. Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about Samsung stuff. Android in general. We get the cool stuff before iPhone. And they sell it to you for a premium 10 years later. That's the meme. When you can't reach 60 FPS at 1440p, that's when I think about buying a new one. Makes sense. 1440p is super accessible in comparison. So the 4080 Super, you get a long time to use that. If you have a 40 series, don't buy a GPU. Upgrade your monitor. If you have a 1080p monitor, yeah, I think right now is a good time to upgrade monitors. If you're on 1080p, if you're at 1440p, I would stay there. I barely play at 4K unless I'm playing on a big TV. Otherwise, the pixels per inch makes no sense. I mean, 4K on this monitor that I'm showing you right now looks super crisp, but it's 27 inches. So 4K at 27 inches. You see no jaggies, that's awesome, whatever. But it feels like a waste of horsepower. I'd rather put it at 1440p. 1440p looks great in this monitor anyway. But right now is not a good time to buy a GPU. Unless you are on, I don't know, the 10 series NVIDIA cards. 1440p for 12 years, that's a long time. You took 1440p pretty early actually. 12 years ago, I think I had a 1050p monitor. But I was, 12 years. I was a minor back then. I was 17 12 years ago. Oof. I didn't even have a 750 Ti yet. That's insane. Well, this channel will be 10 years old, 11 years old in September. The first time I saw 1440p was on a 750 Ti playing Splinter Cell Conviction. 9070 XE, great card. GG. I'm going to die here. That's okay. I can just pretend I'm not on fire. Hey, Ilyas Alawani, how's it going? Good sir. Must have been one of the first 1440p monitors back then, either Samsung or HP, you remember correctly, and 60 Hz. Yeah, I mean, I think 60 Hz on a monitor is completely fine. The thing is when you get used to seeing over 60 Hz, That's when it starts getting to you. Personally, I'm fine with 60 Hz on a monitor if I'm playing a game with a controller or whatever. But same thing here. It took me a while to get a high refresh rate monitor. If it was easier to get hundreds of FPS on new games, then I'll probably go aim more towards that. But just for VRR, is that I got high refresh rate monitors, so I can stay between 60 and 100 without using VSync. Yeah, 60 Hz is fine as long as it's cheap. Yeah, that's the thing. Good to know, Ilias. Taxi on your old R9 280 back then. Ooh, R9 280, 1440p. Well, for older games at that time, it was okay. Can I fall down? Yeah, I can. There we go. Yeah, the 280, I mean, you could sacrifice the frame rate for that, actually. The thing back then is that you didn't have upscaling. The upscaling that we have right now. No, it doesn't have DLSS, unfortunately. In this case, I say unfortunately because this game would highly benefit from it. The edges are not fantastic. No, this is in native 4K, actually. You recently got a 144 Hz monitor for your office. Yeah, when you're scrolling through documents, it makes a huge difference as well. I noticed that when I was scrolling to respond YouTube comments. Actually, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but you can notice the difference. Oof. Both people stabbed him at once. He stood up! Oh, he's dead. Never mind. Forget about the stamina. Is he healing? Stop right there, you criminal scum! Oof. You sit for hours in front of a monitor? Yeah, your eyes. You need glasses to drive your car? Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear. That's probably a pain in the ass. Playing any FPS shooter like CS or Valorant 60 Hz after experiencing 120 legit makes you sick. I mean, it happens to me when in a movie, or in a movie theater, or watching a movie in general. They're usually 24 FPS. If they pan the camera very fast, I can notice that it's 24 FPS. It's been a curse to watch movies after doing what I do on YouTube, because I can notice. I'm sure if you guys ever notice that while watching a movie and there do camera pans. It's not bad, only, oh, minus 0.7. Okay, not too bad. Well, at least you can see those signs. That's what matters, right? Thanks for that, sir. He has to die. I'll let him do its thing. There it goes. Lighting upon dodging. Ooh, that's awesome. What CPU? i5 13500, but I disabled the E-cores because we still get stuttering with the E-cores enabled, funnily enough. And by funny I mean, how could they mess that up? Ridiculous. Oh, wrong zone, my bad. From soft moment, yeah. A pain in the ass. I wonder what's the technical difficulty they have to fix that. For you 24 to 30 is fine if you're watching. Yeah, exactly. If you're watching it's fine. The thing is, even if I'm just watching, I can notice. That's what blows my mind. Because I couldn't notice before. It was like after a decade of looking at frame rates every day. It's insane that your body can actually register that. I wish I was Kratos right now. I've been playing a lot of God of War Ragnarok, actually. I finished both God of War games on PS5 recently, because those were in my backlog. And I'm fighting like I was fighting in God of War. I wish I had those... the Blaze of Chaos. You try 9070 or 9060. Right now I'm not looking forward to add more GPUs. Right now. I'm thinking about it. The thing with the AMD cards is that it will take a longer time to swap the GPU bit up to AMD because I have to delete the drivers and reinstall them. I did that in the past. It was a pain. And I have less time than before. But at some point I'll have to replace one of the cards from today. Probably the 1650 will be the first one to go at some point. And if that happens, hopefully I can do an AMD card. The thing is, it adds a lot of time to the live streams. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to watch the Summer Game Fest. I didn't even know that was going to happen. I forgot about it. When is that happening? Because I want to watch it, but I don't know if I'll be home or if I'll be working. I mean, at work I can watch it while I do something, but because I work from home, I'm going to have an office. But the problem with that is, it's not like I can do it live. I'll be doing something in the background. You don't know Summer Game Fest was this week? Is this week? I thought it was next week. This Friday! Oh my god. Well, maybe. It's not a bad idea. I might. I usually like watching those live. We can make fun of the games industry together. Yeah, if it's a Friday, it's probably going to be fine. You watch it live to be disappointed more. Yeah, that's the thing. It usually takes a lot of time for it to finish. That's the main thing that bothers me. But other than that, I usually have fun because I'm with you guys. On my own, I usually just have it in the background, just to have some cringe back in my life. But I'm always disappointed at the end of those things, generally speaking. Okay, I think we're all dead. Mr. Boyd. Good luck. Good luck to you, sir. Okay. Boyd is a Giga Chad. He doesn't even know he's live on YouTube. And he died. Never mind. I thought that was the boss. That's the other player. Two okay games, then 1000% lame boring games, or Genshin Impact clones. And probably something about vaping that shouldn't happen. Oh, I hate when they do that. Oh well, was good while it lasted. Dota 3? What? 3 on a Valve game? Impossible. Yeah, probably somebody's going to say, oh yeah, they're going to show GTA 6 gameplay or Half-Life 3. That's a classic. Or Bloodborne Remastered. That's a classic in those events. There are rumors before it. Some of them are true, most of them are not. And we died. Awesome. But it's funny to see that. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, there were rumors about a new Half-Life for a while. I'd rather not listen to rumors lately, unless it's something incredible, like the Oblivion remaster. But just because of content, the day that Oblivion remaster was supposed to come out, I was like, okay, it's probably going to happen. I was like, yeah, no, sorry, somebody called on me. So as I was saying, usually for content reasons, if Oblivion was releasing, I was not going to work that day. I had to stream it. Yeah, Steam bans any game with a 3 in it. Well, too late for that. We have Far Cry 3 there. So anyway, so far it feels pretty repetitive, which makes sense because it's kind of roguelite, but it felt very, very samey. I was expecting more randomness to it. Then when it comes to settings, it's basically the same as Elden Ring. I would put it a little bit below Elden Ring on performance because of the amount of effects on screen that can happen with more than 2 players. With 3 players, because 2 players doesn't exist in this game. And definitely I wouldn't play it solo. But when it comes to performance, yeah, it's basically Elden Ring. A little bit more demanding in those scenarios, but nothing new out of this. So if you were able to play Elden Ring, you can definitely play this one. So yeah, not much else to say really. It's basically Elden Ring with co-op, trying to be more roguelite, but it needs more randomness. No, you cannot duo in the game. It's either solo or trios. Duos is not supported. So yeah, they're probably going to add it later, but still. Yeah, what I bought today on stream was Deadly Premonition 2 and Receiver 2. But I bought this one just because it was like $1. Requires a controller. Playing with keyboard and mouse isn't supported. Ugh. Yeah, it probably runs horrible. It runs bad on the Nintendo Switch. And Deadly Premonition usually runs bad on everything. It's just sheer incompetence on a technical level. So anyway, thanks again to Bandai Namco for providing a code of the game. And yeah, if you have only one friend, probably this game isn't for you. You have to play with randos to get something done in this game. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with either Stellar Blade, Hell Is Us, or Dune Awakening. So thanks guys. See you next time. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate that. I miss you a lot, actually. It feels weird to be back. Bye guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Good night. Have a good one.